Hi there, welcome to this video on solving for x. Let's start with an example and go through all the steps. Let's say we have 3x equals 5. Our goal when we're solving for x is to get x by itself on one side of the equal sign. How can we do that? X is being multiplied by 3 right now. So if we want just x by itself, we need to divide both sides by 3. Now we get x equals 5/3. What if we have something like x over 4 equals 9? In this case, x is being divided by something. It's being divided by 4. And to get x by itself, we would need to multiply both sides by 4 to get x by itself, because 4 divided by 4, 1 times x is just x. And we get that x equals 9 times 4, which equals 36. What if we have more numbers to worry about? Let's say we have 2x plus 6 equals 7. Well, now we have to worry about the order that we're doing our operations. To get x by itself, well, first we need to worry about the terms that don't have x in them. For reference, 2x is a term, 6 is a term, and 7 is a term. So on this left side, 2x has an x in it, but 6 doesn't have anything to do with x. So we need to move 6 first. How can we get rid of 6? We can subtract 6 on both sides. And we get 2x equals 7 minus 6 equals 1. All right, we're getting somewhere. Now we have 2x equals 1. How can we get x by itself on this left side? We can divide by 2 on both sides. And we get x equals 1/2. Awesome. Now let's pause for a second. I'm going through the steps kind of fast, but we should probably check our work. We can do so by plugging what we got for x back into the original equation. Let's do that. We would get 2 times 1/2 plus 6 equals 7. And I'll put a question mark there because I'm not sure if they're equal. 2 times 1/2 is 1/2 plus 1/2, so that equals 1. 1 plus 6 does indeed equal 7, so we know that we found the right answer for x. Now, what if we have something like 2x minus 6 equals 7? Notice how the only difference here is that I'm subtracting 6 rather than adding 6 like before. It's pretty much the same process, except to get rid of 6, we need to add 6 to both sides this time. And now we get 2x equals 13. How do we get x by itself on the left side? We can divide both sides by 2 so that these 2's cancel out, and we get x equals 13/2. Now, all these examples are great, but let's define a list of steps that you can apply for any problem where you have to solve for x. So, first, you need to see, okay, which side is x on? All these examples, I put x on the left, but you could have something like 5 equals 3x as the beginning equation. So whichever side x is on, you want to see if there is a constant being added or subtracted from the x term, then get rid of the constant by adding or subtracting. What do I mean by this? Well, the constant I'm talking about is the number on the same side as x that we're adding. So this term that is just a constant number, it doesn't have any letters like x or y or anything. And the x term is going to be the term with an x. So if there is a constant, we need to get rid of it by adding or subtracting. And that's what we did here. Since our original was 6 added to 2x plus 6, then we had to subtract 6 from both sides. We do the opposite operation. Now for this equation, we had 2x minus 6, so we had to do the opposite of minus, which is plus. So we did plus 6 on both sides to cancel the minus 6 out. Now some students ask me, why do you have to do minus 6 or plus 6 on both sides? Why do you have to do everything on both sides? And that's a great question. I do that because I want to keep the equal sign happy. It has to have both sides staying equal. So if I only did minus 6 on this left side, then the two sides would be uneven. They wouldn't be equal anymore. So I have to do it on both sides so that both sides stay equal. All right, let's keep going with our list. So step 2, after we get rid of those constant terms, we have to deal with the x term. So if we have something multiplying x, I'll just call that like 2x. Then we have to divide both sides by whatever number is here. So I'll put 2. But it could be any number. Like in our examples, there was 3 here and there was 4 here dividing x. So that's our next example. If we have a number dividing x, then we have to do the opposite, which is multiply both sides by whatever number is down here, which will be 2. So the 2 is there just for example, but that could be any number. All right, and that's pretty much all our steps. Let's do some practice problems. All right, pause the video and try this problem. I'll go over the answer in 3, 2, 1. So let's do step 1. Is there a constant term on the same side as x? No, there's only 4x, and 4x is an x term. So we don't have to worry about step 1. What about step 2? Well, yeah, something is multiplying x. We have to get rid of that 4. And how do we do that? Well, it's our first case. We have 4 times x, not x divided by 4. So we have to divide both sides by 4. That way, these 4's cancel out, and we get x by itself, and we know that it equals 5/4. Awesome. And we can check our work by plugging x into our original equation, which was 4x equals 5. Plugging in x, we would get 4 times 5/4 equals 5. And we'll put a question mark because we're not sure yet. And yeah, we would see 4 divided by 4 cancels out and get 5 equals 5. Let's do another practice problem. All right, try this practice problem and I will go over the answer in 3, 2, 1. All right, so let me erase my old work. Is there a constant term on the same side as x? Yes, there is a plus 2 right here. We need to get rid of that plus 2 on the left side. So we will subtract 2 from both sides. That will get us x over 9 equals 3 minus 2 is 1. All right. Now for step 2, looks like we're in the second case where x is being divided by some number. So we have to multiply both sides by that number. And that number is 9. So let's multiply both sides by 9. So 9x divided by 9 equals 1x, which equals x. And that will equal 1 times 9, which equals 9. And that's our answer. Awesome. And just to check, we can plug it back into our original equation and see that 9 over 9 plus 2 might equal 3. And we see, yeah, because 9 over 9 equals 1, and 1 plus 2 does indeed equal 3. All right. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for practicing math with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.